What's up everyone? In today's video, we're finally checking out the Mob Museum. This is a huge build that my friend Max and I have been working on our co-op survival server for quite some time now. The goal of this build is to house every single variation of every mob in Minecraft. This is over about 170 mobs in total, and some of them are really hard to get. After we got most of the mobs collected, which I did, Max started building this massive museum. But before we check out the museum, I want to go show how he got all these resources because I know we're going to have a lot of people wondering. So with that said, on to our quartz farm. The strategy we have for our quartz farm involves a raid farm and a trading hall. I consider this a semi-automatic design to get as much quartz as fast as possible. The first thing that we have to do is head on over to our raid farm that I built up a while ago. And as you can see, we have a nice little storage system here. We have Miss Mushi, who is what helps us get rid of Bad Omen 5 when we're done using the raid farm. And if we fly out here, you can see this nice simple raid farm design that is taken from Ray's that works really well and generates about 3,500 emeralds per hour. So after we fly down to the outpost down there, hop back up here and AFK for a little bit, we'll come over, grab some emeralds, and then head on back into the portal towards our villager trading hall. The villager trading hall is located underneath a village in Max's base. So if we fly over to this portal and then pop on through, we can head all the way over to Max's base. You can see his home right here, a tower, an old creeper farm, and his storage shulker island up there. But he has this man-made village which underneath is a semi-unfinished trading hall. We head on all the way over here, fall down, and the entrance is still being completed, which will wrap its way all the way around here, and then eventually have an elevator to take us up and down. But over here we have tons and tons of villagers. They're all stonemasons, so they all trade quartz pillars and quartz blocks, and we can just go around this whole U right here and get an absolutely ridiculous amount of quartz. I also threw a bunch of these farmer villagers in here and cured them so I can get a bunch of golden carrots as quickly as possible, but we're not really worried about them right now. So now that I've showed you guys how I get all of this quartz, let's go on to see all of the tunnels that Max has made to collect the absurd amount of netherrack or netherrack bricks that he needs for his build. All of the areas that Max farms his netherrack can pretty much be found anywhere in the roof of the nether. If you fly around for long enough, you'll find a hole like this, and then when you go into that hole, you'll see that he's gone in pretty much every direction, just very far down one way, down this way, all the way down this way. And if you fly down these tunnels, there's plenty of different pathways that branch off left or right, so he can collect all of this insane amount of netherrack. I don't think this is one of the longest tunnel systems right here that he has, but this is the first one that I could find just searching around the roof of the nether or the top side of the nether when I was looking for one of his tunnels. So now that we have the netherrack and the quartz explained, let's move on to the museum itself. Once Max has collected all of this netherrack, he then built up a big super smelter system over here. So all he has to do is throw the shulkers of netherrack right up here in some of these many hoppers, and it will filter those items down into this lava-powered smelter. I know we can make it a little bit faster in the future, but for now, lava is our go-to fuel source, and it sends all of the nether brick down into the bottom, which it looks like he's crafted up a lot of it recently, but then it constantly cooks while he's here building, so he can build for as long as possible. So now that I've shown how these materials are gathered, let's get on to how the museum itself was built and what we have to do here on out. The goal of the museum is to be pretty much as overkill as possible and to be able to house every single mob in Minecraft. So we have a massive entry hallway with a beautiful roof on top that you can see, and inside this hallway it's still pretty sparsely decorated. We need to fix a lot of these archways on the right and left sides and really bring the roof together, but the floor and the walls are basically complete. You can see these sides sectioned off over here as well as on the other side over here, and that is where we want to one day put my skin, Max's skin, and maybe some famous Minecraft YouTuber skins that have been an inspiration along the way of us growing up playing Minecraft over the years. Then in the back, this is where the museum itself actually starts. Once we get out of the entry hallway, he added a nice touch of this fog layer thing right here. And then this big hallway in the back is going to go to some future sections of the museum. But for now, if we head off to the right, we have the first section of the museum, which hasn't really been decorated yet, but you can see we have the cows, we have the pigs, and we have one chicken. In the future, we're going to put a bunch of different decorations inside all of these exhibits, but for now, we're just trying to get the museum itself done, and then we'll go back and decorate all of the different exhibits so the animals don't look like they're trapped in containment cells. Over here, we have the Arctic fox, the rabbits, and you can see Max has already done a little bit of decoration for the foxes right here, so they look quite a bit happier than the other animals in their exhibits. Then if we go to the very top floor of this section of the museum, you can see that we have the moose room, including the brown moose room. This exhibit has not been filled yet. And then over on this side, Max has begun building a hallway that will continue into the next section of the museum. I actually haven't even seen this part yet, so I'm not sure what to expect, but yep, it looks like there hasn't been much built, but he's decided to create some sort of floating effect for this part of the museum, and I'm sure he'll spruce up these walls, add some more exhibits inside, and this will look great like the rest of the museum. Then if we fly back over to the start of the museum and we head to the left instead of the right this time, we have the sheep and the horses over here. The sheep we decided to section off into groups of 3 for all the different colors because we didn't think each sheep needed their own exhibit. We have the first 3 colors right here, 3 more colors right here, and then the same thing at the end. Then if we were to go up these stairs right here, you can see 3, 3, and then yet another 2 at the end. And we also have, of course, the Jeb sheep magically changing colors. Then if we fly back down over here, you can see the horse section over here. This houses all 35 different kinds of horses. It also has the skeleton horse, the donkey, and the mule. But this is a pretty fancy area. One day I think we're going to have a horse racetrack around out here. But for now we have the stables complete. All the horses, donkeys, mules, they all have a home. And now it's on to the next mob for Max. The final thing I want to show off before I conclude this video is all of the mobs that we have actually caught so far. It looks like our big slime somehow jumped out of here, but we've got the medium and small slimes over here. And then we have all the different kinds of pandas. In one of these pandas' boats, I believe we have the silverfish, yep. And then we've got a cave spider in here with a pigman that decided to join him. And obviously I won't be able to remember all of the mobs off the top of my head, but I have a Google Doc where I make sure to track all of the mobs that we've caught so far, and I update that on my community Discord server every so often, just so everyone knows how far along with the progress we are. We have the 11 cats, including the ocelot, a baby zombie pigman. In here, I think there is a creeper, and then in this one over here, there is a charged creeper. Up inside of this exhibit, we have a bunch of piglin brutes, some of which I think we're going to use as guards for the museum. Oh, it looks like in this one we've actually got a witch, which she's got to stay in there and make sure she doesn't splash us with potions of harming. Over here, we have a pillager that has been pacified, and in that nether brick area, there is an aggressive pillager still. Over here, we have a hoglin, a blaze, a baby zombie, pigman, chicken jockey. We have a magma cube, an enderman that I like that he's holding a little mushroom, so at least he has a friend while he's trapped in this minecart for the rest of eternity. And then we have an iron golem, polar bear, strider. Over here we have the spiders, I think one of which has potion effects. This is just a normal spider. And then in the part over here, there is a, I believe, strength spider, and we're still looking for the 2 other potion effect spiders. Then over here, I got most of the Halloween mobs, but unfortunately, I'd never actually played on Halloween, so I didn't realize there's a difference between just pumpkins and then jack-o'-lanterns on the mob heads, so I'll be forced to get the rest of these Halloween mobs next year when they are spawning again. Over here, we've got a baby zombie villager, some zoglins, and then on this section, I left all of the raid mobs way out here. We've got a vindicator in there, we've got another pillager right there, and then we have this big guy over here, and an evoker is trapped inside of here just to make sure he doesn't spawn any vexes. And the final thing that I need to show is way over here, we have an elder guardian that I keep far away from everything because he really likes to put mining fatigue on you. As you can see, he already did that. So he needs to stay far away from the museum so Max can keep building. So with the Elder Guardian having been shown, that concludes the tour of the mob museum, how we get all the resources, and all of the mobs that we have stashed behind so far. Make sure to subscribe to see future videos on this build as well as other things that Max and I do on our co-op survival server. Hope you enjoyed, and thanks for watching.